Let's be honest. If some of the most popular MCU characters were real people, you would not trust them. You wouldn't work with them, you wouldn't forgive them, you might actively warn others. And yet, in the MCU, they are fan favorites. So why do morally grey characters work so well in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and how do writers make us love them? The MCU is really good at something very specific, taking characters who do objectively bad things and making them feel understandable, charming, and eventually heroic. From a writer's perspective, this isn't accidental. It's the result of framing, tone, and consequence management. Let's break that down. What morally grey means in the MCU? In Marvel, morally grey usually does not mean evil. It means questionable choices, good intentions, and actions that should have consequences but often don't for long. MCU moral greyness is less about ethics and more about tone. If the story wants you to like a character, it will make sure you do. Loki, the perfect case study. Loki is the clearest example of this. Early Loki attempts genocide, kills people, and betrays literally everyone. And yet, people loved him almost immediately. Why? First, framing. We're shown Loki's insecurity, his family issues, and his need for validation before we sit with the harm he causes. Second, charisma. He's witty, dramatic, self aware. The MCU treats humor as moral insulation.
I have been falling for 30 minutes!
Third, soft consequences. Loki's punishment rarely sticks. He survives, escapes, or gets another chance over and over again. By the time Loki becomes openly heroic, most of the audience has already forgiven him. Not because his actions were justified, but because the story trained us to. The MCU writing playbook. Loki isn't unique, he's the template. Take Tony Stark. He's a reckless weapons dealer framed as a charming genius.
I am Iron Man.
Wanda Maximoff. Immense collateral damage paired with grief-centered framing. Bucky Barnes. Violence reframed through mind control and victimhood. In each case, MCU does the same thing. Centers invention over impact, uses trauma as emotional context, and minimizes long-term consequences. From a writing perspective, this keeps the characters marketable and beloved. Why audiences go along with it? Audiences are not dumb, but they are human. Morally grey MCU characters let viewers explore darker choices safely, feel emotionally sophisticated, and root for flawed people without discomfort. The MCU rarely asks viewers to sit with moral tension for long. It resolves it quickly, usually with a joke, a sacrifice, or a redemption arc, and that works. When grey becomes too comfortable, the downside is that moral complexity can become aesthetic. Bad actions turn into character flavor, accountability becomes optional, and popularity starts driving redemption instead of storytelling logic. Loki's arc works, but it also shows how easily moral greyness can be smoothed into likability. Finally, morally grey characters aren't a flaw in the MCU, they're a strategy. The question isn't why fans love characters like Loki, it's why the MCU keeps making forgiveness feel so effortless. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like or subscribe. If not, that's fine too. Loki would betray you either way.
I've never met this man in my life.